Oh, boy. Injury update. Let's see. Columbus had a finger dislocation. He came back in. Rakpo had an ankle. He came back in. Perry Riley had a knee sprain, MCL knee sprain. He came back in. And Ryan Clark had an ankle sprain. He came back in. Other than that, it was pretty clean.
Jay, that final drive, what'd you see on the replay that made you challenge it? Looked like the ball was, I guess, behind the marker, but his body was kind of ahead of it.
His whole body was 2 yards in front of the line. It looked like, the ball was at 48 around there, and he went all the way up to the 50. I don't know, but it looked like it was clear up in the box. It looked like it was clear on the sideline. We challenged it and lost again, but I thought it was worth the challenge. It was close, but they said the ball never crossed the line, but it looked like it did on replay.
And also on the fake field goal, I mean, I assume you guys were expecting the possibility, but what happened there?
Yeah, we had a block on actually, and they just broke contain and did a nice job on their scheme and got the first down. It's just pinned. They got a pin on our right side, their left side, and they got the first down. Obviously, unfortunately, it was a good call by them and not very good by us.
Coach, I know you're obviously just walking off the field, but how do you assess this one? It seemed like they weren't at their best. You had some opportunities. You were there, and yet just couldn't get over the hump. I mean, just sort of your thoughts in totality on this one.
I thought guys played hard, number one. We wanted to come out and really go toe-to-toe and play our butt off, and I think we did that. As far as them not being at their best, part of that is because we were playing pretty darn good. It had nothing to do with them. It had everything to do with us, I'd like to think. Got some penalties in our favor, got some penalties not in our favor, but overall we were in position to win or make a great game out of it in the third quarter, and we had a couple 3-and-outs, and we never could change the field position there after the failed onside kick. We were backed up, and then we'd punt, and we could never change the field position, and they just, held on for the victory.
Yeah, he hit Kirk. It seemed like, he missed some throws and then he hit some beautiful deep balls. Just part of the growing process for him.
Yeah, he did. He really did. He I'll tell you what, he can make the tough throw look very easy, and he can make some of the easy throws look a little tough. But that's just part of the consistency process and seeing throws under pressure. And, you can never really get a good look at this game type speed, especially against Seattle. They got a great pass rusher up the field fast, and guys are all over the place. And for the most part, he played pretty good. I thought he kept his composure. I know that when he watches the film, as all quarterbacks do, there'll be some plays he wishes he had back. But overall, I thought he kept us in the game and gave us a chance to win.
Jay, Russell Wilson finished with 122 rushing yards, I think 80 on the first 4 carries. Was there something about his game that you guys maybe didn't prepare for or plan for? Did he catch you guys by surprise, or
no, I
was
think
it just
we were
execution?
ready for the zone read and a little bit, and they did a little bit more than they have shown in the past, but that's no excuse. We were ready for the zone read. We practiced it. But I think some of the keepers, they fake the outside zone, and I think he was reading the backside pursuit, and he was keeping it, and that's where he hit us on a couple of them. Just true blue, not a zone read. It was just a true blue fakes outside zone, and he just kept it on his own, which they haven't done a whole lot of that, But, Russell's a hell of a player. He kept a lot of plays alive. Obviously, that play at the end of the game was unlike I've seen in a while, and, he's won a lot of games for them because of that. He's a heck of a player.
Coach, what about Kirk's performance tonight compared to his last time out against the Giants? Did he correct some things that didn't go right last time?
I think he did. I think he played well. There's some things he could have done better, obviously, but I think he came out here and competed. That's the number one thing. We want to make sure that I think early in the game he was maybe a little bit gun shy, so to speak, as far as not being able to pull the trigger, maybe throwing balls a little bit too quick, get them out of his hands, looking for the check down a little bit quick. I think as the game came on and he, felt the pocket and got in the flow of the game, I think he was a lot more patient and saw a lot more throws. But I think he played pretty well. He's going to need to step up his game, as we all are, coaches and players alike, for us to really get this thing turned around, get ready for Arizona.
Coach,
But, he did good.
pardon me. When Columbus went out early, obviously it seemed like a lot for Morgan Moses. Can you speak about the depth you have, any concerns on the offensive line? What are your options if one of those guys goes down in terms of protecting?
Morgan's really been playing a lot of left tackle and right tackle, and when Columbus went down. Morgan went in there and had a little mental mistake there. But we have Compton there. He backs up both left tackle and right tackle and Morgan. So we feel pretty good about our depth there. We have Long and Columbus on the inside, and Chester is backup center. So I think from a depth perspective, we're better than a lot of teams at this point in the season on the offensive line. The offensive line, actually, I thought played pretty well in the pass game, the run game. Not a lot of holes there for Alfred to run through. I think he only averaged 1.5 or 1.8 yards a carry, and kind of knew that going in. It was going to be a tough struggle to run the ball against these guys and base personnel, and it was.
Coach, you're an offensive-minded coach, obviously, and I know in the preseason and early in the year, I mean, there was a lot of talk about offensive explosions. There have been some moments, but probably not as much as you would have liked. What's your frustration level right now, as it seems like each week there's something here, not there, something there, not here. You just haven't been able to put it together?
Yeah, you're right. We haven't put it together fully. And, it's a process. We just got to keep working at it. We got to get the running game going, and averaging 1.9 yards a carry, it's not good enough. And when we take some shots, we got to, do the best we can to hit them. But overall, as a group offensively, our running game's not quite good enough. Obviously, our deep passing game's not quite good enough. We're not quite good enough anywhere, and obviously it starts with the play calling, so I got to do a better job too and get these guys prepared. So we're going to get there. I think we got the talent on the team to get there. Seattle's a great football team, a great defense. They're going to make a lot of teams struggle offensively. But moving forward, I think we competed, and we will compete in the future.
Jay, with the onside kick in the, middle of the third quarter, is that your decision? Is that Ben's? Also, the thought behind short kicking, and obviously to keep it away from Harvin, but did that hurt you in some other ways because you guys were giving them possession 35, 40-yard line?
Yeah, it hurt our field position a lot. We decided not to kick it to Harvin. And then the onside kick was my call. Coach Kotwika had a plan for it, and we're working on the pooch kicks, and we're seeing how they lined up, and we thought we had a good numbers advantage on the onside kick. It didn't work out, so we lost some field position. But we lost field position all night on the kickoffs, and we kind of knew that coming in, and we don't want to kick line drives to them, right to them, and let them return it. So we thought if we could stop them at the 28 to 30-yard line with the pooch kicks, that's better than risking kicking it to them deep with room to run. So that was a decision we had going in.
Jay, you guys stuck with the running game quite a bit, and some coaches in other situations will abandon something if it's not working. You guys thought it was important to keep going to Alfred, keep pounding it. Why was that? I know obviously it's part of the game plan, but why was that important even though it wasn't working?
Kirk is a quarterback, and we need to take some pressure off of him and try to get the run going. And Alfred's, one of our obviously better players, and we can't just abandon it, although, we probably should have. Some days when you don't play very well, you abandon it too quick, and some days you don't abandon it quick enough. So, I just didn't want to put the pressure on Kirk having to throw the ball 55 times against that pass rush. So we thought we'd try to stick with it, and had some good looks at it. We just didn't make any good runs.
Jay, on Wednesday, Brian Rockbo said that this team has no identity, and I just asked him in the locker room if he thinks that after this game that maybe identity has been found, and he said it's a work in progress. What do you call it?
Same. It's a work in progress. We're still working together to find out our identity for what we are. I don't know what anybody's identity is defined as. We're just trying to get our guys out there to, really the identity to come out there and play their butts off every day and compete every snap. And I think our guys started to do that defensively especially, and that's very, very important. Offensively, it's a work. You go from Robert to Kirk, and you got some changes up front every now and then we're still working to find that. But we'll find it. We'll keep practicing, keep working it, and keep studying it until we do.
Would you say there was significant growth in Kirk Cousins' game today?
Significant. I think he come off a 4-interception game and you're a young quarterback to come out here and compete against a defending champs like you did, I think it's progress, yes.
Jay, overall the defense had some bad moments, clearly, but then had, I think, 4 3-and-outs in the third quarter and played reasonably well in the second half. Are you happy with the way they were at least able to recover and make some adjustments and stop some of the things that were killing them? Or
yeah, I thought so. I thought we came in halftime, and Coach has did a nice job of making some adjustments to get them guys off the field. And he kept getting the ball back for the offense. Problem is we kept being backed up. We're on one time, our own 8, I think our own 10, and we're unable to flip the field position, which just kept giving them opportunity after opportunity. So we got to do a better job offensively to at least flip the position or special teams. And again, we got to get a turnover somewhere. We're not getting any turnovers. So, and we're not really changing the momentum with our special teams. You know, so there's a couple areas that we got to really figure out what to do. You know, and when you're playing these close games, eventually somebody's got to get a turnover. Somebody's got to block a kick. Somebody's got to do something. You know, ESPN highlights all the time, and I see block kicks for touchdowns and interceptions for touchdowns. We got to figure out a way to get some of those.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.